Hey, Friendos, Steve, you're making a mess, dude.
And
You're
Larson.
making a mess. Welcome back to Going in Raw, the only pro wrestling podcast you need to be listening to right here at youtube.com/Steven Larson. This is the Going in Raw Matt Chat version. We're 1 week away from WrestleMania. We will be live streaming, of course, our reactions to WWE NXT TakeOver New York 3, Brooklyn, whatever they call it.
New York. They call it New York. I don't want to call it Brooklyn.
Is it still in the Barclays Center?
Yeah.
Why are they calling it Brooklyn? It's got the branding already.
I know. It's like the fourth or fifth one. Fifth one, I think.
Idiots.
It's been like NXT TakeOver Brooklyn has more or less been NXT's WrestleMania the last 4 years.
Oh, but that's at... Where are they going to... Where's SummerSlam this year? Next year? Yeah, where's SummerSlam this year?
Toronto?
Oh, okay. Well, that's going to be why. Because Brooklyn takes place in... traditionally at SummerSlam.
SummerSlam. But regardless, you'd think the name, the brand exists. I don't know. It's weird.
That is weird.
I would have kept it Brooklyn.
The
Just kept
decision
on the
was
tradition.
made not to our liking.
I just figured as long as they have one of the major 4 pay-per-views in Brooklyn or New York every year, which they probably will do, just keep NXT TakeOver Brooklyn intact, keep that name, keep that brand, more or less make it NXT's WrestleMania, but they're not doing that. It's a good card, though. Anyways,
2 WrestleManias in less than 12 months, so. Anyways, this is Matt Chat, as you can tell from the soft jazz flute at the beginning of the show. And a lot of people like that, by the way.
I do, too.
Have you noticed that in the comments? More people are talking about the jazz flute.
Yeah.
Anyways, of course, this is where we answer questions from our amazing patrons at patreon.com/Steven Larson. At $20, not only do you get the Friendo Care Package, which includes a comic book, some stickers, a double-sided poster, and a postcard. Some of that stuff is autographed by us. You also get to put your video question or text question right here on Matt Chat for Larson and I to acknowledge and debate. Or just discuss. Anyways, let's kick this off. We got a bunch of questions. First up is
Jeffrey Nguyen.
Jeffrey Nguyen. He's in a moving van of some sort.
Van of some sort.
I wonder what he's moving or who he's moving.
Take it away, Jeffrey.
It feels like WWE has put all their energy into building the women's main event and the Kofi Bryan storyline, with seemingly every other talent getting buried in the process. So my question to you is this a good thing or a bad thing for the product? Let me know. Thanks, Friendos.
Thank you, Jeffrey.
Most likely, I think Jeffrey Nguyen is most likely to be the guy on Dateline that when you realize they're not interviewing him, he did it.
Answer his question.
Oh, man. Yeah, they put a lot of money. They put a lot of time and money into both Kofi Kingston and, of course, the main event, the women's triple threat match for that Raw Women's Championship. However, I think it's totally fine because it is rare they can even put so much effort into one match being a buzzworthy match. They have a good problem on their hands. I don't think it's burying the rest of the matches, but it is fascinating that on any other given year, Brock Lesnar defending the Universal Championship would be number one, their number one story. And this year, and generally over the past couple of years, it's never really been that buzzworthy. I mean, if you go back to 31, for example, our lasting image of that build was Roman and Brock literally playing tug of war with the WWE Championship, and that was a big fart. What was the big match last year was, I guess, the Ronda mixed tag match.
Well, they tried to do Roman Brock again last year, too.
Which was just a big fart. Also, who cares? But they probably did one of those split screen promo things. Terrible. So this year we have at least one match which organically has an amazing story behind it with the Kofi Kingston thing. The other one I'm very much looking forward to, and I know a lot of people are, they have their thoughts about it, but you cannot say it's not the most talked about, debated over match that we've seen in quite some time. I think that they have I don't think that's a problem. I think this is exactly what they want. They want a couple of matches, at least one match that they can really, really sink their teeth into, and they have 2 of them right now. I think it's a good, if it's a problem, it's a good problem to have.
They are focusing quite a bit of their creative energies on the money-making matches, and that's smart because if you think a match or two has the ability to draw the largest fan base or viewership possible, you focus on those 2 storylines to dedicate the most TV time, creative energy, so on and so forth. It's unfortunate that there's a lot of really good talents who aren't getting a lot of good creative in the build to Mania. We have no idea what the SmackDown tag title match is going to be. None. We're a week away. We don't really know for sure what the Raw tag team title match is going to be, although it's going to be Revival versus Aleister Black and Ricochet. Based on what happened on SmackDown last night, it seems likely that Asuka won't even be on the main card itself. She might be in the Battle Royal. It's interesting.
Well, if she's anyway, I mean, I'm sorry, go ahead.
It's interesting that the two winners of last year's Royal Rumble, 2018's, mind you, there's a chance they might not even be on WrestleMania this year.
Shinsuke Nakamura
and Asuka.
And Asuka. Asuka's definitely going to be in the if Asuka isn't, and I don't think she's going to be inserted into that 4-way. There's the possibility, as we explored on the SmackDown recap, there's the possibility they could give Charlotte 2 matches.
Oh, entirely possible.
I mean, commentary threw that out there. We're not sure if that's actually the plan or if they just threw that out there.
But so possibly exists too.
She's definitely going to. I mean, if she's in no other match, she's going to be in that Battle Royal. There is not even a question there.
I don't know. They might think. Well, they might think the Battle Royal is beneath her.
She's gonna be in.
Probably gonna be in it. I'm just saying, possibility exists. Well, and they haven't even announced the Battle Royal. They haven't even announced the Women's Battle Royal.
Yeah, we don't even know there is gonna be.
We don't even know if that's gonna happen. I would think. We haven't even announced it.
Yeah.
Anyways, but this happens a lot of years. Was it last year? Yeah, that SmackDown pretty much mortgaged the entire show on Shane Daniel Bryan.
Oh, yeah.
And the show was garbage. SmackDown, that is. The show was garbage. The match actually was pretty decent. But the show, SmackDown
because
suffered
Daniel
because
Bryan was cleared right before.
Yeah, no. The show greatly, SmackDown suffered because of it.
Yeah.
And while the Ronda, Becky, Charlotte thing has been fairly convoluted and overbooked, maybe unnecessarily so, it's gotten people talking.
Yeah.
It is deserving of the main event spot. And it's odd, the last 3 weeks, maybe, like the Ronda and Becky and Charlotte will get some TV time.
Yeah,
but they haven't been dominating their respective programs by any stretch of the imagination.
True.
I mean, I feel like Braun Strowman and Colin Jost and Michael Che have gotten just as much TV time of late as Ronda Rousey has.
Yeah. Well, I feel like Kurt Angle.
And Kurt Angle, his farewell tour has gotten a lot of time.
It has. I've been cool with that, though. I don't know. I think so. Like some of the builds that have been sort of non-existent but could be killer matches, AJ versus Randy Orton, that sort of stands out as they literally just built it with one really good promo.
They think, and I think kind of rightly so, that match kind of sells itself. There's nothing really on the line except bragging rights. So yeah,
that's fine.
But they've done a pretty good job, I think, in the matter of 3 weeks, really building up Roman and Drew.
Yeah,
I'm invested in that one. I want to see Drew win.
Yeah.
Although if Roman wins, I don't mind.
Yeah,
they've done a decent job of doing the Lashley Finn thing at times.
I mean, if you think about how many matches they have, how much TV time they have to build this stuff, this year's build to Mania, as we sort of run all this down, it's been pretty good.
Yeah, it's been that bad.
It's been okay.
It's been that bad.
It's got people talking about the matches that they're supposed to be talking about, and then they've had some quality, simple but effective feuds to build a lot of these other things. It'd be shocking to me if Asuka. And you're right; they haven't announced the women's battle royal. I assume there's going to be.
I assume it will happen. And yeah, you're probably right that she'll be in it. But I could see, given that she just lost, and if she's not involved in a singles match on the Mania card, they might just hold her out of it.
Yeah, I feel what you're saying. I feel what you're saying.
And I don't want to diminish the battle royal, saying that it's beneath Asuka, but you know what I mean.
Well, it is. She was just champion. You could say it. It is.
Right. You know what I mean.
It is. It absolutely is. She should be on the main card fighting to defend or win a title. That is completely true. But just to get her on the card, I think that they would do it. I see what you're saying. Like it could be the kind of thing where they have plans for her after Mania.
Yeah.
And so why would you use her on Mania be in a diminished role?
Well, and also too, like she just dropped the title, Charlotte.
Yeah.
And there's already, as we saw, you pulled up the YouTube video of that match, and the dislikes greatly outnumber the likes. Greatly.
Yeah.
And they might not want to put a brighter spotlight on that whole scenario.
Unless she's going to win the Battle Royal in a very dominant fashion.
But even that, I mean, like, you get a trophy for winning the Battle Royal. You don't get anything out of it.
Yeah, but here's the thing. She could be dissatisfied with all of it. You know what I mean? Like, she comes in there, she murders everybody. A couple people on Twitter pointed this out. It'd be awesome if they
That's how they should have booked her the Royal Rumble she was in.
It'd be awesome everybody. If this was sort of they turn her into like a true monster and she starts wearing the cool face paint again. That'd be really neat, like the zombie stuff again. That'd be kind of cool. In which case, it might be a good idea to hold her off Mania until you have that slight sort of repackage.
Yeah. I could think of any number of reasons to not if she's not going to have a singles match for a title at Mania, just to hold her off entirely.
Yeah,
and
but at the same time,
having her in that battle. Yeah, I know, but having her in that battle royal is just really glaring. Wow, they have not handled her creative well at all.
Is there anybody else that would even come close to being able to beat her in that battle royal if all things are equal? I mean, who else could even be in that?
No.
I
mean, I would say Nia, but she's going to be in a match.
She's in a match
on the main card.
Everybody else is in a match. Even like Natalia's in a match. So I don't know, man. I think that are there so many women on the main card that they're not going to do the battle royal?
Now I think of it, maybe because
you have the Riot Squad.
You have the Riot Squad.
Naomi.
You have
Fire Desire.
Carmella. You have Lana. You have Mickie James. Dana Brooke.
Was there NXT people last year?
Probably.
Okay, and then you got like a ton of people.
But just think, you have Nia and Tamina, Sasha Bailey in one match. You have Alexa Bliss as host. She's not going to be wrestling.
True.
You have Charlotte and Becky. They're in a match.
Yeah.
Ronda wouldn't have been in it anyways.
Yeah.
So I'll just kind of take her out of the equation. So that's 7.
Yeah.
Talents that are not going to be in the battle royal.
You have a lot of people.
That's about half of.
How many people were in that battle royal last year? How many?
20.
20?
Or was it 30?
Is it
20 or 30?
I don't know. I mean, we pointed out 10 people who don't have a match.
And then I mentioned Zelina Vega. She doesn't have a match.
Yeah. And then there's like a bunch of people on NXT. So I mean, theoretically,
the Iconics are also in the tag title match.
They're in the tag title match.
That's 2 more to take out of the equation.
Yeah. Nikki Cross. She was talking about being a WrestleMania in some of the past years. 12.
Yeah. I mean, it could be done, but yeah, if you put Asuka in there, it's pretty. Yeah, she should dominate that match.
Yeah. There's no other, but there's nobody even close to being bigger, and many people who have matches aren't even close to being as big as Asuka. So it's just an unfortunate circumstance. I really hope they give her a match against Charlotte and do the 2-match thing, but then Charlotte would have to win that, so maybe not.
Well, she wouldn't have to if they don't care about that image of the 4 Horsewomen at the end of Mania.
That's all they care about.
Well, we'll see.
You know who I care about? Christopher Rappersod. Let's see what he has to say.
Hello, Steven Larson. So my question is, can Seth Rollins beat Brock Lesnar for the Universal Championship? I feel like he lost a lot of momentum, even though he's the winner of the Royal Rumble. I feel like he's getting overshadowed by Kofi and Becky Lynch. And I feel like he's not going to win. And I think his winning the Universal Championship is more important than Becky or Kofi winning their respective titles. Because we've been 2 years without a Universal Championship, basically. And Brock doesn't like to come because of Vince, I'm guessing. And we need this belt back on Raw because for 2 years, we're just dealing with horrible storylines and elevating people if they were champions to make them bigger stars. So my question is, can Seth Rollins beat Brock Lesnar really?
Thank you, Christopher Rappersod.
Thank you, Christopher. Can Seth win the Universal title? Of course he can, but will he? That's really the question. Will he?
I'll give you a... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, it's my turn. So I've maintained that of the 3 top matches where the fans want a very specific outcome, Becky wins, Kofi wins, Seth wins at Mania, we'll probably get 2 of the 3. Because if you get all 3, that's probably too many feel-good moments for Vince to stomach. As we just saw in this week's episode of SmackDown, to balance the good moments, you need some moments that are going to make the fans upset.
Yeah.
So, yeah, sure, you can have heels win the other 13 to 14 matches on the Mania card, but and have the 3 top matches go the way the fans want. Nonetheless, if any babyface is going to lose when they're top of the card matches, at this rate, it's looking like Seth. However, at the end of the day, as I sit here now, about 3 days removed from us actually doing our formal predictions, I'm still leaning towards picking Seth with a very low degree of confidence. I'm talking somewhere between 2 and 4 confidence points currently. They could hypothetically push to the Saudi Arabia show about a month after. Entirely possible. Since the women's match is main event in the show, I feel like Becky kind of has to win that. The way they've been booking the Kofi Daniel Bryan thing, feels like Kofi has to win that. and they just really haven't invested, and mostly because Brock's not on TV at all. A lot of time into building up, so Seth's win feels inevitable. You know, it just kind of seems like it kind of felt like last year. It felt like an obligation. Well, Roman has to win because let's get this Brock Lesnar thing taken care of, so we have the title on TV every week, and it didn't happen then. Seth is way more popular than Roman was a year ago. Fans are behind him a lot more, but when he came out for his promo on Monday, the response wasn't overwhelmingly like the crowd didn't like pop huge for him.
Who, Seth?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he got a good response. He always gets a good response, but because it wasn't a massive pop.
I think because they understand exactly what they're going to get, which is not Brock Lesnar, and it's no physicality. So they're not going to pop that much. No, here it is. Seth is going to lose at Mania. I've got 3 confidence points on that because I'm pretty sure there are 2 other matches where I don't have confidence in, probably the Andre Battle Royal. And
you don't want to put a lot of confidence points on Colin Jost winning?
I'm going to give him 2. And then I'll probably pick him. And then
maybe I'll pick Michael Che then. It'll be down to Michael Che and Colin Jost.
You should. It'd be like me and you wrestling.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, and then like the women's rumble, if that's even going to happen, or battle royal rather, I'll give like that one because I don't even know. I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, I don't think Seth's going to win at Mania. I think that they're going to kick it to Saudi Arabia. I think it probably makes a lot of sense to do that because in Saudi Arabia, you're probably not going to have another old timers match where they just have to wheel out people. They'll probably bring Hogan back for that, but you know, you need a big moment there. And I think it's going to be Seth, and I think they probably have a good idea in their heads as to how to approach Saudi Arabia from a PR perspective. Just basically don't even say that it's in Saudi Arabia.
That's what they did with Crown Jewel.
Live from an undisclosed location around the world. The Crown Jewel too, or whatever. The greatest Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I
don't think he's going to win at Mania because I think we've been right all along. He's going to be 2 out of 3. I think he's the one that can go. I think he's got the least buzz among the 3 main event matches. Next up, new match chatter, Philly Flexer. I love this question. This is a good one.
Question.
Because I think he's got a good point here. Let's let him say it though.
Hey guys, it's your boy Philly Flexer here. Long time Patreon, first time match chatter. My question this week is about Baron Corbin. I'm starting to see that the slow Wolfpack family or whatnot was starting to get a little bit more behind Baron and stuff like that. People are starting to point out signs to him and everything like that. I'm just honestly thinking, in a couple of years from now, do you think that Baron Corbin can be a guy like The Miz, where he has been a heel this whole time or whatnot, people booing him and everything like that, and all of a sudden, one day, people start cheering for him? I don't know. I just want to know your guys' opinion. All right, thanks, guys.
Thank you, Philly Flexer, and welcome to Match.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that. Hey, you're not me. Anyways, what a great point here. Could Baron, obviously we know, for those of you who may not know, when Miz debuted, seemingly behind the scenes and out there in front of the crowd,
no one liked him.
Nobody liked him. A testament to Miz's career that dude just stuck it out. He stuck it out. I don't know how people feel about Baron Corbin behind the scenes.
Well, we know how John Cena feels about him.
Dumpster fire. What we've heard also about Baron Corbin in the past is that he hasn't been afraid to speak his mind when it comes to certain things like concussions and stuff like that. The guy doesn't seem to be afraid to speak his mind back behind the scenes, which I think could benefit him in the long run if he were to stay with the company. Because people tend to listen to people like that. In front of the cameras, the dude is probably the best pure heel they have right now. I mean, Drew's the guy that we love to hate.
Yeah, but he does such great work across the board that he's going to start getting over as a heel.
And he'll have to turn face.
Yeah.
Corbin sticks to that heel role the same way The Miz did for the longest time until he had a really awkward face turn. Now he's at the point where they appreciate the work. He's the heel who makes good points.
Now he's the face that makes good points.
Now he's the face that makes good points, and he's over. People like it. They have this perfect feud with Shane. Can Baron reach those same heights as The Miz? I think that answer is 100% yes. And I've never even thought about this, but that is absolutely true. The caveat here, it might not take him the same amount of time as Miz. However, we're looking around 2026 to 2027, as to when the crowd would finally turn, or it might actually take longer because he's so outwardly hateable, dislikable.
Yeah.
It might take him to 2035.
Yeah.
But it's going to be a long time.
Yes.
A long, long time.
Well, that was, I think, part of the reason
Yeah.
people appreciate The Miz now is because he's put in the work.
Yeah, exactly.
For more than a decade.
Yeah. I think Baron takes pride in his work as well.
Yeah, I think so too.
I get the feeling that he does. He said before that, he enjoys going out there and getting people all in a huff. He enjoys that, and if you enjoy the work, he always says, "Well, I'm here for the paycheck" and stuff like that. But I don't know, man. I think he really likes it. I think he wants to be the guy who has the ball and runs with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I agree with 100% everything he said. I think if he continues to put in the work, continues to improve, because I feel like he's made massive strides since he got called up.
Huge.
Because when he was in NXT, you could tell they were really pushing him, but he was super green in the ring.
Yeah.
And his promo skills were not that great.
No.
And I mean, I guess you could argue now that his in-ring skills and his promo skills still aren't that great, but he's made his skill set work for his role.
Yeah.
And there's a reason that he's universally loathed by the WWE Universe is because he's actually pretty good at his job.
Baron Corbin is having a pretty fascinating trial by fire. Mm-hmm. He's sort of the scapegoat for the catalyst for the McMahon shakeup. Ratings were at an all-time low. He was featured way too heavily. But every time he was on TV, you could tell that dude was prepared to do his job. Mm-hmm. He had all of his, when he's doing those cheesy backstage segments, which he had a lot of, he performed them to the best of his ability, and he was never afraid to be the guy who was humiliated on camera by John Cena, Roman Reigns, all those guys.
The McMahons.
So,
Yeah.
man, and he eats it all up and he keeps on going.
Yeah.
And he's reveling in this whole anti-Kurt Angle's last match opponent thing. Mm-hmm. So, I don't know, man. If you got that kind of thick skin where you can deal with all that.
Oh, yeah.
Man.
And you're willing to put in the work and stick it out.
People are going to come around to him
Yep.
sooner than later.
Yep. Next, Cult of False Realities. Let's see what he has to say.
Look in my eyes. What do you see? It's the Cult of False Realities. Back for another Matt Check question. Let's get into it. So, just got done watching the live stream. Great, by the way. And I was thinking about how they've been doing Kofi Kingston's run through WrestleMania, how it's been so much drama and all this stuff is going into it. And it kind of got me thinking of what female wrestler could they do this with for maybe next Mania or even for Evolution. I could kind of see Naomi going through it, maybe Dana Brooke, or even Natalya. Her saying that she's been here for so long and the fact that she's been having to go through stuff with family and maybe she feels disrespected because maybe she's been getting looked over. But tell me what you guys think. Too sweet, hearty handshake. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Cult of False Realities.
Thank you very much.
My answer, it probably worked best at NXT because the fan base in NXT is probably more familiar with her work and the years that she put in working in the independents. Candice LeRae. Mm-hmm. She wrestled in the indies.
Who, Johnny Gargano's wife?
No, Candice LeRae. They could use that as the springboard for the whole thing.
I know,
she can
they
be like,
could.
I'm here, I'm one of the best wrestlers in the world, and I'm the secondary player in this drama, which now might be over for at least a year. Use that as a springboard, as a catalyst for her to say, and they tried that kind of once when she seemed like, okay, I'm going to separate my personal life from my professional life. I'm focused on my career here in NXT. She had like a match or two, and then she was back to being a supporting player. Yeah. No, she should be the focus because she is that damn good.
Yep.
She has all the skills to build up an immense level of goodwill with the NXT fan base. Mm-hmm. So it's not entirely relying on what she's done prior to getting there. Like I said, she's probably been wrestling for at least a decade, if not more, in the independents before coming to NXT. Make her the focus. People will invest in her story, and I think it could be really good. I mean, and they have the perfect foil with her, with Shayna Baszler, and it's a bummer they didn't capitalize on it until then because it seems like Shayna's on the way up. However, You could have Bianca Belair be the heel in that story.
Yeah, Bianca Belair. You can have Jessamine Duke. I mean, if you're trying to build up Jessamine Duke and Marina Shafir, what better pro wrestler to have in the ring with them than somebody who knows so much what they're doing? Like, put Candice LeRae in there with her, you know. So yeah, I think it's a great answer. I'm gonna go with a different name. I'll go with Ruby Riott. I think that she's probably, in terms of, I mean, it might be neck and neck with Ember Moon, depending on. No, I'm going to say it's Ruby Riott. Somebody whose potential hasn't been utilized to the fullest degree versus how they're being utilized. That gap right there is probably Ruby Riott. I think she's stellar in the ring. I think her look is like a 9 in terms of her packaging. I think that she's such a well-developed I think that she could be a well-developed, fully formed character with just the most basic of creative behind her. I mean, you watch, I forget, I think maybe it was an NXT little mini doc or whatever when she went out on the road talking about like her tattoos and stuff. You know, I mean, there's a lot to work with there as a human being, as a person, as a character. And the fact that they've sort of just continually, every time you think that the Riot Squad is going to be booked as even close to being a threat, they revert back to, well, we need somebody good to job to Ronda or Nia.
Charlotte or Becky or Nia, yeah.
Let's shove any number of the Riot Squad people out there. And, you know, I mean, they treated her title match against Ronda Rousey as a flipping joke, an absolute joke. They didn't even try to make her look like a threat. And I think that she could be the type who the fans will start coming around to, but it might take some time. But eventually they're going to be like, man, like, when is she going to get, like, she is so good. When is she going to get hers? I was thinking of saying Ember Moon, but at the same time, Ember Moon, she's been booked pretty strong. I could see her, once she returns, having a pretty decent push on Raw if a heel has that title.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, to take it off Becky.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Next, Andy Nero.
Brother Nero.
Hey Friendos, hey Stephen Larson, Andy Nero here with a match chat question for you. It's been a while, long time. I just wanted to know, how much further can they F up the women's division on both SmackDown and Raw at the minute? I think that the Charlotte, Becky, Ronda thing has fallen completely flat. I'm really not that bothered about it anymore. Like, I hope Becky comes out as the champ, but it's just killed any buzz for me. And SmackDown's division is dead, really dead now. Yeah, that's just shocking. Anyway, thoughts and opinions. Too sweet. Hi, Handshake. Take care.
Thank you, Brother Nero.
Thank you, Andy Nero.
The answer is, I mean, not much more. Mania is a week away, so they can't really do. There's only one more. There's one more segment left for each of these, each of the titles. Really, I mean, there's a segment on Raw for the women's division. There's a segment on SmackDown for the women's division. We were just talking about the Riot Squad, and all 3 participants in that triple threat are going to be taking on the Riot Squad. I'm not really sure how much they can do with that. I don't know. I get your pessimism. I kind of don't share it, though. I'm looking forward to the main event match at WrestleMania. So, yeah, I think a lot of people are upset about the Asuka thing, but, you know, Asuka, talent always shines through. Worst case scenario, she goes to All Elite Wrestling.
I think matters things will improve, I think, if and when Ronda decides to take her leave.
I agree with that.
They're focusing so much in the build to Mania on the Ronda, Becky, Charlotte program. Plus, you got the tag title situation, the new belts. So they're putting a lot of focus on that. That pretty much everybody else is getting overshadowed by those 2 stories, which is unfortunate. For a while, SmackDown was doing a pretty good job of focusing the full breadth and depth of their women's division. Hasn't been the case of late.
Can I chime in really quick? We just explored, though, how many, we just explored the idea, if they can even manage to put on a battle royal, given how many of the women division talents
are in Mania matches already,
on the Mania matches, in matches that are probably going to be on the main show, not even the kickoff. So I mean, to that degree, they're spotlighting a lot of talents.
Yeah, they are.
They're doing okay.
They are.
Sorry, go ahead.
Anyways, yes. But I think that's it. It's after Mania ends. We'll probably have some switching of talent with the shakeup that's happening a couple weeks after Mania, and then you'll see. I think you'll see the spotlight start to expand and focus on a lot more participants in the women's division.
Yeah, I mean that's one thing. It's the same. It's similar to Brock dropping the Universal title. Whenever you have Vince's big attraction holding on to a top title like we have with Ronda, once that goes away, then Becky, yeah, she's hot, but she's not so hot that they can't take that title off her. And we saw that she had the SmackDown Women's title, and they had her drop it to Asuka at the TLC match, and then she couldn't regain it in that match at the Rumble. So she's on par, she's on level with a batch of other superstars in the women's divisions, I guess. That I think it'll make things a lot more interesting. I think that you'll see the title potentially switch hands a bit more than just one person clogging up the scene. That's what it is. It's one person clogging up the scene. That's what Ronda Rousey is.
Yeah. Next, got a question from the Hall of Famer, Christian.
Hey, Steve. Hey, Larson. This is the Hall of Famer Christian here with another Matt Chat question. Parked, not driving. I'm safe. Don't worry about me. I'm good. My question for you guys this week is regarding both of you guys' favorite things, tournaments. My question is, which in the modern day of tournaments has been top tournament? I'm talking every tournament from, let's say, the original Dusty Rhodes Classic, which was my Finn Balor and Samoa Joe, all the way until this past Cruiserweight Championship tournament. So the Cruiserweight Classics, the Mae Young Classics, the Dusty Rhodes Classics, all of the above, the Cruiserweight tournaments, which has been the best tournament overall in your guys' eyes? Too sweet, hearty handshake. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Christian.
Thank you, Christian.
I go first. You go first.
I go first.
Oh no, I go first.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
I go first. For me personally, I feel like kind of the best tournament in terms of quality of the matches was the Cruiserweight tournament after they stripped Enzo of the title.
Ooh.
Of course, culminating in the Mania last year match between Cedric Alexander and Mustafa Ali. But there was tons of awesome matches. They brought Buddy Murphy in for the tournament. And like the match he and Mustafa Ali had was great. Roderick Strong had a great match with Cedric Alexander.
Oh, yeah.
Like match after match after match was phenomenal.
That was really good.
I think the best match Jack Gallagher's had on 205 Live was his match against Mustafa Ali in that tournament. Just every week it was stellar match after stellar match.
Yeah.
And some of the best, WWE matches of 2018 in my mind were during that tournament. It was great.
I'm going to go ahead and say the very first United Kingdom tournament. They really strip mine that UK scene for the top names, the top talent in a really thriving scene. And I am a great lover of the United Kingdom, so that appeals to Steve here. Also, I love either of the Mae Young Classics, man.
Yeah.
I just love when independent talent gets a big old spotlight, and it's like, ooh, who are they going to pull from the indie ranks to see? So you have like a variety of competitors that you're not going to see in the same tournament at any other time because of the way WWE operates. So yeah, I would maybe. I mean, if you're looking at a variety of talent, I would say the Mae Young Classic. If you're looking at quality of wrestling and variety of talent, the UK tournament. If you want just straight up killer match after killer match, what you're talking about probably does win the day.
Yeah.
Next up, AO Worm has a question about All Elite Wrestling.
All Elite.
Let's see what he has to ask.
What's good, friendos? Ayo Worm here. So, quick question, guys. In about 10 years or so, do you think AEW will eclipse WWE in everything, like wrestling talent, fan base, TV, everything, the whole shebang? Do you think AEW will be above WWE in about 10 years or so? Or do you think WWE will stay the mega power that it has been forever? All right, guys, take it easy.
Thank you, A.O. Worm.
Thank you, AO Worm.
I'm about as a huge proponent and cheerleader for All Elite as anybody else. I want them to be a massive success because I like alternatives. That being said, no. No, they're not going to overtake WWE probably ever. And I don't think that's their goal. I think their goal is to sustain themselves and
No, not a chance.
No. So WWE is synonymous with pro wrestling. They're the Kleenex of pro wrestling. You know, the Xerox.
Yep.
The crayon.
Yep.
Or sorry, the Crayola. Sorry.
They get on. You know, like Good Morning America and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They get on like the big. They have their own movie studio.
Mm-hmm.
They do that. All Elite Wrestling, they don't even have a microphone for being the elite.
Mm-hmm.
That bugs the crap out of me.
Yeah, no.
I get it's like I understand that like sort of the point is
what?
We're doing this podunk on my phone, but come on now.
I remember seeing like some fan shot footage or something where they're shooting stuff at an indie show.
Yeah, I know. And Cody was holding a boom mic.
Yeah, they had a boom mic there.
I don't get it. I do not get it. I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't know.
I understand they're in an interesting position with being the elite. Because obviously right now they have to be in a holding pattern. They're doing what they can to build buzz. The Young Bucks just stormed Rey de Reyes and won those tag titles from the AAA Lucha Brothers guys. But they have to do a lot of biding of time because that show is still 2 months away. Mm-hmm. And then we're off to the races because you got the May show. Are they going to do a June show?
I think the Jacksonville one's in July, right?
I mean, you're off to the races. If they get that, there's no TV deal been announced. I'm sure that probably just takes time. But they're looking to start weekly TV in October. So time will tell. But I don't know. I just kind of feel like they're in an awkward spot right now, like right now in the moment. Because what can they really do? They don't have a regular outlet beyond being the elite.
Yeah.
But I kind of feel like they need to step up the production game on being the elite a little bit.
Yeah.
Or maybe that's just the way people really like it. And if they change anything,
people might revolt.
People
don't like change, Steve.
That could be the thing. You know,
people don't like change.
You're right. They don't.
Next, Richard Morris, apparently done with jury duty. Let's see what he has to say.
Hey, Stephen Larson, Richard Morris here with another Matt Chat question. So I have a quick question. If Mustafa Ali had not gotten hurt, do you think he'd be where Kofi is right now going into WrestleMania against Daniel Bryan? Personally, I think he would. I think the original plan may have been to pull kind of like a Jinder Mahal thing where they were going to India. They put the belt on him. With Saudi Arabia coming up right around the corner, what do you think the odds were that they were going to put that belt on Ali in order to, for going into Saudi Arabia and then that pay-per-view? Too sweet, hearty handshake. You guys have a good day.
Thank you, Richard Morris.
Guilty. Guilty or not guilty?
This isn't Superman 2, man.
Did Richard Morris sentence them to the Phantom Zone?
Not Superman 2.
Guilty.
I don't think Mustafa Ali would be in the position to be challenging Daniel Bryan for the WWE title at WrestleMania. All indications was that he was supposed to have a heck of a run in that gauntlet match preceding Elimination Chamber, have a good showing Elimination Chamber, setting up a title match for himself at Fastlane. But the idea was for Kevin Owens to take on Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania. That's what we have heard. That's not to say that Mustafa Ali couldn't have endeared himself to the crowd in a similar fashion as Kofi Kingston that might have had them alter plans. However, I think Kofi's tenure with WWE, his history with the company, added a lot more depth to his story, and he already had that pre-existing long-running connection with WWE Universe that I think is what really kind of pushed it over the edge in terms of it being a phenomenon.
There's also the element of people being fascinated with the New Day winning the WWE title. We've talked about that for a couple of years now. The idea of, well, what would they do? Would they freebird the title? Would they not? How would they handle that? It's sort of a fascinating thing that I think is in a lot of the back of the people's minds. Mm-hmm. Couple that with people's love of the New Day, their desire to see Kofi get a title shot, and then it actually, this actually could happen. Oh my goodness!
Yeah.
None of that I don't think would have been in play. Like you said, not to say it couldn't have been because people really like Mustafa Ali.
Oh, he's fantastic. He's one of my favorites for sure.
And when you see him perform, you want to get behind the guy. I'm just not sure the passion to get behind the guy would have been there the way it is with Kofi in the New Day.
Kofi's history of the company adds a lot of weight to the story.
I don't think there would have been a lot of Ali Mania hashtags out there I think people would have been happy to see Kevin Owens return and be okay with that. And I think he probably would have had a stellar performance in the Andre the Giant Battle Royal. He might have been slated to win that. I don't know. Although I guess they could still do that. But I'm thinking if he would have ridden the momentum into the Andre the Giant, he could have won that. Probably more likely.
I'm kind of surprised that.
And then after Mania, U.S. title.
Yeah, and maybe that might have been in the cards to begin with. That maybe he'll come up short against Daniel Bryan at Fastlane and then challenge Joe for the U.S. title at
might have been like
Mania because that's kind of an open-ended feud still between the two of them. They kind of started it. Never really finalized much of anything.
Yeah, I mean, he could have maybe. I had a thought on deck and then I lost
down
it.
The road.
Down the road. Anyways, next up, Naked Bobby Mincy. Let's see what Naked Bobby Mincy has to say.
Hey friendos, Bobby Mincy, and I'm butt naked and I'm back to Matt Chat. Steven Larson, a lot like everyone else, I really hate most of these scripted promos that WWE spews out. But I also have watched some of the older, like 80s and early 90s wrestling where they don't have promos, they barely even have bullet points, and some of those are absolute train wrecks. So one of you guys need to pick on, if you guys are in charge, would you prefer scripted promos by these current writers, or would you rather just give someone a mic and be like, all right, go, we're live, and no rehearsal, no nothing. So let me know. To sweet, hearty handshake, naked things. See you guys.
Thank you, Bobby Mincy.
We have standards and practices. We have a department for censorship right over there, and they're looking. They're looking at us.
Just see your shoulders, man.
They're like, "Hey, this is YouTube. This isn't HBO late night. This isn't an episode of Real Sex, or that one where they're in the brothel,
Cat House."
There you go. I know you're very familiar with that one. Bobby Mincy has his question was about what kind of promos do you like?
Oh, ramble. Because here's the thing: there's a lot of bad, but man, there's some magical stuff.
Yeah, true.
You let someone with some mic skills ramble.
Scott Steiner,
Macho Man.
Yeah,
Macho Man had no idea what he was going to say when Mean Gene put that mic in front of his face.
Well, okay, hold on a second.
And it was great.
He was known for his extensive preparation
in the ring.
Yeah. You don't think that would have carried over to the promo?
He might have some ideas, but I don't know. Something tells me like he was told, oh, you have mic time here. He's walking to the set, walks by, sees a little thing of coffee creamer. Oh, cream of the crop.
Oh, yeah.
And he just goes there and talks.
He takes like 4 of them and puts them in different places. And then the cream.
Cream always rises to the top. Yeah. But then the downside is you get the Warrior.
Yeah.
Where it's just incoherent rambling for
that dude probably did prepare too.
Yeah, I know. He got his thesaurus out looking for words and then forget what the words he looked up.
I spent 8 hours preparing for this.
But anyways, I think what's lost often, not all the time, but often with scripted promos is very rarely do you get that spark where you feel like someone is just going out there and speaking their mind, bearing their soul in a genuine fashion. And I think when you have unscripted promos, it's more likely to happen. It's not a guarantee because there's a lot of terrible, rambling, incoherent, nonsensical, non-scripted promos. But I just feel like there's a bit of magic lost when you hand someone a script and tell them to do it.
Yeah, sure.
As opposed to people just speaking their mind.
Yeah. Give me Randy Orton and AJ Styles. That did not seem scripted. There might have been elements of it that were scripted, obviously. But, man, that felt natural as heck. I don't know, man. I think it's
It's all dependent on the talent. If you don't, if talent has exhibited the
if you have John Morrison, you probably need a guy who's helping him out.
Yeah, and if you have someone like John Cena, he doesn't need scripts.
Oh God, no.
No.
He's a 10.
Yeah. You have someone like Ric Flair, he doesn't need scripts.
No, 10.
But some people need scripts. Some people need bullet points. Some people, you can just put the mic in their hand and trust that they're going to get the point across.
You know what I was thinking of when we were answering A.O. Worm's question about all elite wrestling, and I was running down being the elite. Like so many of their segments, so many of their little bits on being the elite feel like poorly mic'd, poorly shot, cheesy WWE backstage segments. Like the camera's just on all of them, and they're all like talking. And I don't know, maybe they're doing it to be like meta or to be ironic.
I think it's just a situation where they probably just have one camera and can't get a lot of coverage. Because I imagine that stuff shot fast.
Yeah, I think they just do it one take. Let's just do this really quick.
Yeah.
But I don't know. That just got me thinking about scripted promos versus scriptless promos, because I hate those WWE backstage super scripted.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's looking sort of towards the camera. They're divulging secrets that would never be seen when the camera's
in
on.
there. I know.
It's so silly.
Yeah.
But yeah, I want aimless, drifting hosses, screaming, foaming at the mouth. Those are the best. Lex Luger was the best when he was just screaming at the mic. It's like, whoa, man, this guy's a hell of a promo.
He talks his real voice, and he's like, why do they let this guy talk?
Exactly. Did you see? That's another thing I totally forgot to. It was the Mania that they were promoting the WBF. Remember I was texting you that night? It was like, I think it was the Sergeant Slaughter Mania versus Hogan. Yeah. And they did an interview with Lex Luger, and it really came off like the beginning of a porno. It's hilariously bad. I really want to show it to you now.
All right, maybe after we're done here.
He was talking about the WBF because he was about to start doing that.
Yeah.
Next up, we've got Jacksonville's number one, Guillaume Halili. Let's see what he has to say.
Hey there, friendos. This is Jacksonville's number one, Matt Chatter. And my question for this week is, have y'all ever noticed Drew McIntyre, when he cuts a promo, he drops to a knee, and it makes it more menacing? So my question is, what are some little things that wrestlers have done to change their character into a good thing or a bad thing? Could you give an example of both? A good thing a wrestler has done that changed their character and made it even better, or something stupid or bad a wrestler has done that made their character even worse? Let me know your thoughts. This has been Jacksonville's number one, Matt Chatter. Too sweet, hearty handshake. Bye.
Thank you, Guillaume.
Thank you, Guillaume.
Go ahead.
Okay, so detract. Finn's smiling incessantly is, I don't know why they have him doing that. That's fucking annoying. I think he's doing a little bit less now that he's been in this feud with Bob Lashley. Another smiler, Bob Roode. That killed him. That literally killed everything about his NXT character. As soon as he hit main roster, smiling Bob Roode killed him. Just killed him.
Yeah.
Enhancing, that one time they showed Bob Lashley's Tron face. It was like right here, just Tron, all Tron.
Yeah, all Tron.
And then him showing his butt to people.
Yeah.
That's what I got.
That was good. Guillaume's 100% correct mentioning Drew McIntyre. When he debuted on Main as a heel, completely reinvented himself. And I won't go into it. How he reaches out for the ropes. Every little thing is so focused on showing the sinister side of his character. And he's right when he'll drop down to a knee to do promos and stuff. Oh, it's so good.
It's amazing.
It's all these little details that really flesh out the character, and it's great.
Yeah, it's awesome.
He's one of the best right now.
It's
as far as something that came to my mind, detract, is when Dean got the Bane jacket.
Oh, man.
That's like screaming, look at me, I'm a bad guy now.
That was awful.
And then when he got the chain wallet.
That was terrible.
Like he was trying to appear tougher or something.
Yeah.
Look, I'm tough now. I have chain wallet.
That was really bad. That was really
pretty much any like little character thing Dean did when he turned heel. Wasn't into.
Whenever Dean gets away from just being Dean, it's not a good idea.
But then sometimes Dean just being Dean doesn't work either.
Crazy hat. I got a crazy hat here. He's good when he keeps it simple.
Yeah.
Because he's a really good promo guy. He can improv anything. And then they tell him to do anything, and it just doesn't work.
Yeah.
Stephen M. has a question about Dave Meltzer's much ballyhooed match rating system.
Yeah.
Let's see what he has to say.
Hey guys, Stephen M here with my match chat question. Now, I was thinking about 5-star matches, and I was checking if Ray had 5-star matches, and he has a couple against Corey Guerrero. So I was thinking, who is the worst wrestler to have a 5-star match? Who's the best wrestler never to have a 5-star match? And who has the most surprising 5-star match, or the most surprising wrestler to have a 5-star match? Too sweet, hearty handshake. Have a great day.
Muchas gracias, Stephen M.
Thank you, Stephen M. We'll get through this real quick. Worst wrestler of a 5-star match. It might be unfair to call it the worst because I'm not that familiar with the work prior to the WWF days, but the Bushwhackers had a 5-star match in 1986, I believe, against the Fantastics in a Jim Crockett tournament.
I wonder if there's any
match.
like deathmatch stuff in that, because that's what we heard.
Yeah, I kind of skimmed through it, and there was weapons and stuff in it.
Oh man,
and at least one ref bump.
Probably a cool match.
Bunch of fighting outside. They got a 5-star match. And then the most surprising is probably Lars Sullivan. He was in that North American title ladder match.
Yeah, a lot of mine just aren't people who had singles matches.
Yeah, and then probably the best wrestler to never have a 5-star match might be Daniel Bryan. He's never had one.
Yeah. Kind of surprising in Ring of Honor, all those matches he had. None of them got 5 stars. Yeah, I know. It's kind of weird. I think Meltzer's a bit on the inconsistent side, to say the least. Because a lot of these like War Games matches, NWA tag matches. So the most surprising to me, who was involved in a 5-star match, Johnny Ace. I think it was a match was it All Japan? I forget. Anyways, it was Johnny Ace. Worst, Lex Luger, he was in War Games 87 match. That got 5 stars. There's like 15 other people in that match, but still, he was in it.
Was Zbyszko in it too?
Zbyszko was in another one.
Oh,
he was
wow.
in a different one.
Wow.
Yeah, he got a 5-star match. I like your Daniel Bryan answer. I'm going to say this, though. I am kind of surprised that AJ Styles John Cena match didn't get 5 stars. Kind of feel like if that was like in the NWA in 1986, it would have gotten like 5.5.
it would have broken the chart.
It would have broken the chart. I'm talking about 2016 Royal Rumble match.
Or SummerSlam.
SummerSlam.
Yeah. Individually, they've each had 5-star matches, though.
Boy, we're coming up on the 3-year anniversary of us going to SummerSlam.
Yeah, man.
Gee whiz, time goes
Crazy.
by fast.
Next question here from a new Matt Chatter, Liam Jones.
Hey, Stephen Larson. My question for you today is, do you think that international superstars, like people from outside the US, are taking over the WWE and becoming more popular than people that are from the US and go to WWE?
Thank you, Liam.
Thank you, Liam.
I don't know if it's a matter of anybody necessarily being overshadowed. I think based on various new platforms and outlets, everybody's got a streaming service. Wrestling's all over YouTube, Twitch. It's just easier to see all the amazing talent that's wrestling all over the world.
Yep.
And so, like in the 80s and 90s, you'd hear, oh, this person's really great, and you have to start trading tapes with people to see it. They don't do that anymore. You just do a search on the Google machine, and bang, you can watch pretty much anything.
Bang.
And it's a lot easier to become aware of talent these days than it ever was.
It's a big world we live in, and, there's wrestling everywhere, and the dissemination of wrestling throughout the last 10, 15 years has become much more prevalent. And I think that's inspired a whole new generation worldwide. And so like all the great wrestling has just seeped into all different pockets of the world. And so, no, it's not surprising. I don't consider it overshadowing at all. I think that plenty of amazing talents from here in America still are, plying their trade in a way that's great. I'll just throw a name out there. Brody King. Pretty sure I know he's been based out of the LA area. He might be based out of now, like wherever Ring of Honor is. But yeah, I don't view it as being as any overshadowing. I don't think anybody thinks of American wrestling and thinks, man, what a load of crap that is. I know, obviously, New Japan, they do amazing things on a regular basis in terms of their in-ring stuff.
Yeah.
And I think that just inspires a lot of wrestlers here in the States to try to bring their game up to another level. Everybody benefits, and I think it's terrific.
Yes.
There's something for everybody.
Exactly. Next, it's Toronto the Cat.
It's Toronto the Cat.
It's a cat asking a question.
This is an actual cat.
Hey there, Stephen Lawson. It's me, Toronto the Cat. How's it going? Here's my question. When does the WWE realize that there are other kinds of ladies in the world? Ladies who aren't blonde. Because they don't have a Charlotte problem. They have a, hey, let's push all the blonde ladies and no one else gets pushed problem.
Thank you, Toronto the Cat.
Thank you, Toronto the Cat. No,
well,
I don't think they have
Becky Lynch isn't blonde.
No, she's not. I think there's like Dana Brooke, she's a blonde. Carmella was a blonde, although she was champion. Alexa Bliss, she was champion. She's not a blonde anymore.
Yeah, she just
plenty of these people have been blonde, can be blonde, and they're not in the main title scene.
Lana.
Oh God, Salty Lana. She was in a dark match. She's not anywhere close to being in a title scene. I kind of feel like hair color doesn't have a lot to do with it. Otherwise, we'd have a lot of those people I just mentioned. Vince would have said, Carmella, why did you change your hair to not blonde? And she would say, I'll tell you after this 7-second dance break. So, yeah, I think they're just fine touring with the cat. But, man, keep those questions coming with different animals.
Yeah, different animals.
Ryan Rugani, under the weather.
Yeah.
Let's see what he has to say.
I have the flu at home this week, so I didn't forget to submit this. My question is, I want one of you to each take a side on this topic. Let's remove the Iconics and Nia and Tamina from that tag team title match and give those 4 women, some time at the Performance Center. I think they could do a really good job. What do you think?
Thank you, Ryan Rugani.
Thank you, Ryan Rugani.
So they get the gist of his question. Would the match benefit from just being Sasha and Bayley versus Natalya and Beth Phoenix?
I'm gonna say no. I'd prefer the Iconics if it was anybody. I'm looking towards the future, and the future is iconic. Yeah, I'd prefer to see if it had to be tag team versus tag team, 1-on-1 action. It'd be the Iconics.
Well, 2-on-2.
2-on-2 action. One tag team versus one tag team. It'd be Sasha and Bayley versus the Iconics.
You're right, but I think the match would also be great if it was Natalya and Beth Phoenix versus Boss and Hug, because Natalya, she's a good worker. Really great worker, in fact. Put on some great matches. Beth Phoenix, we just saw on this past week's episode of Raw, she still got it.
Yeah.
I mean, she dropped Tamina with a glam slam,
still
no
got
problem. And I think given some time to work out a match between the two teams, it could be phenomenal.
Yeah. Phenomenal.
Really, I think the match would be good regardless. I think we're in for a treat.
But feel better, Ryan.
Yes.
Next up, God, look at the size of the dude's head. But he's dressed all dapper. Waymaker. Let's see what he has to say.
Hello, Stephen Larson, Waymaker here. And I have a match chat question for you, which is based around Steve's impending departure from the US to the UK, which is going to leave Larson high and dry. Now, I was thinking that Larson needs a replacement, and what a better thing to do than to do a talent exchange. So if Steve's coming over here, Larson needs someone to fill in, and we have Wrestle Talk and Cultaholic. Now I would like you both to pick your replacements for when the other is away from Cultaholic and Wrestle Talk respectively. You cannot pick the same person from each group, but you must pick one from each group. And to make it fair, toss a coin to see who goes first, because you're blatantly going to have your favourites and you're going to lean that way. So let's see who you pick and why. So, too sweet, hearty handshake, a little bit of a shoulder lean. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Waymaker.
So, like, this is the size of, like, a normal head, and then this is Waymaker,
our
logo.
I want to know if that's a sweater underneath the blazer or sweater
I'm
vest.
about to have some tea, fellas.
Do you think it's a sweater or sweater vest underneath that blazer?
I think it's what do you call those things that like a girdle that he wears under there? Because he's a fat bastard.
Oh my God.
I love Waymaker
I do
so
too.
much. I think Waymaker is the British Steve here. He's gonna hate saying that, but I kind of feel like that's the case.
Maybe. I like the look though, Waymaker.
Oh, it's super dapper.
It looks great. It looks great.
And he came out all presentable.
Yeah, man.
Hello, fellas.
Super
I have
professional.
a question for you. I do like this question though because
Yes.
I'm a huge fan of both Wrestle Talk and Cultaholic. I love those guys. I'm gonna say I could talk to the very short amount of time that we got to spend with Adam Pacitti.
Mhm.
I would love to co-host with him one day. I think I would be laughing the entire time.
Mhm.
He's a funny dude.
He is a funny dude.
I love when he has to suffer punishments.
Yeah.
Because he makes it funny in its tragedy. Over there on Wrestle
Pathos.
Talk.
That the word? Pathos.
Pathos.
Yes.
Sure. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Over there on Wrestle Talk, man, I've been, me and Luke, we got a little tweet bromance going on. Me and him seem to line up a lot when it comes to like movies and pop culture, but I probably want to go with Ollie as my co-host because I can listen to that dude's voice. sometimes he sounds like a really good, fascinating nature documentary. And over here we've got an alligator, you know, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So I would love to co-host with him. It'd be great.
I would pick people who are probably closest in personality to you.
Yeah, okay.
Because I think, not that it's a necessity to replicate our dynamic, I just think it works best.
Well, that's also kind of why I chose Ollie, because I feel like Luke is more the Steve of the group.
Hence I picked Luke from Wrestle Talk and Ross from Cultaholic. That's it.
That's good. That's really good. I think those would be killer shows.
Yeah.
Probably like they would enhance.
Oh, absolutely.
Whatever. Like if it's going in Raw and one of them is on it,
Infinitely
going in Raw
better.
would be way
Infinitely better. Yeah.
Exactly.
Infinitely better. Next question from, I lost my spot.
Patrick Sparks.
B-Man. Take it away, B-Man.
Hey, friendos, Pat here. Okay, so Mania time's coming up. One of the best, worst matches, if we're being honest, is the Mania Battle Royal featuring NFL football players. With the recent retirement of Gronk, I want you to rebook another one. 30 people, whatever, 15 wrestlers, 15 football players. Who goes over? Why? Thanks, friendos. Bye.
Thank you, B-Man.
Thank you, B-Man.
All right, this is what I got. So 30 competitors is a lot, so I'll just kind of go through some names. From the NFL, you need Gronk.
Oh,
Absolutely.
yeah.
You need D'Angelo Williams.
Oh, killer wrestler.
I know Sean Merriman has spent some time at the WWE Performance Center.
Aaron Rodgers, discount double check.
That's the championship belt movement he's doing there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that would never happen, but nonetheless, I want him in the match. Pat McAfee, former punter for the Indianapolis Colts.
Well, not just, plus now he's the star of Mind of McAfee.
No, I was saying that he's got football bona fides. That's why I mentioned that he's a former punter for the Colts.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. In
case people didn't know he played football.
Yeah, okay.
Brian Urlacher, he did some stuff at TNA. James Harrison.
Here's where I'd actually like to see Pat McAfee. Not participating in it, but commentating on it.
No, I want a minute. James Harrison.
How about let's compromise? It's like an and one thing where he's commentating while he's doing it.
All right, fine, whatever.
Didn't Booker T do that once? He was doing commentary during a match.
Maybe.
And it was TNA, I think.
Oh, all right. James Harrison. And then George Kittle's the tight end for the 49ers. He's a huge wrestling fan.
Okay. Cool.
From the WWE, I just want everybody who used to play football.
Okay.
So Mojo for sure. Maybe not Roman, just because he's probably doing something else. Baron, though, for sure. Tino Sabatelli, Riddick Moss. Anybody who played collegiate or professional football currently on the WWE roster should be in that battle royal.
I like it.
In the end, Gronk wins, eliminating his friend Mojo.
Ooh.
Instant feud.
Hype. You're not hype. Next up, we've got...
You don't want to answer at all?
No, you just did it all, man. That was good.
Sorry.
That's good. I was gonna say, give me some Beast Mode.
Yeah, that's a good pick.
But that's pretty much it. Because the dude's name is Beast Mode. What's his actual name?
Marshawn Lynch.
Marshawn Lynch. Yeah, thank you.
Next, got a question from Loki. This one's great.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Hello, Stephen Larson. Lucky Richard here, the Freak of Flight, with another Match Chat question. This week, it is 5 wrestlers step through Rawgate. What 5 would it take to make Rawgate Mutant a 10 wrestler? For example, these 5 would make Rawgate a 1. Wrestling, Vince Russo. Promo, Gobbledygooker. Look, Bastion Booger. Kayfabe, Michael Tarver. And Legacy, the Shockmaster. Have fun with the debate, and I'll see you soon.
Thank you, Loki.
Muchas gracias, Loki.
Here, go ahead, since your answer's short.
What 5 wrestlers? I don't need 5 wrestlers. I need 2. John Cena. Kayfabe, 10. Legacy, 10. In-ring, 10.
It's a 9, actually.
In-ring, look.
Promo.
Should be 11, but it's a 10. And then being good, even if he's like a 6.
You mean Look?
I'm sorry, Look. Even if Look is a 6, which it's not, it's actually a 9.
No, it should be
but
7
even
at
if
most.
it's a 7, then the only other wrestler I need, Tanahashi. Being good. In-ring, 10. Look, 10. Promo, who knows? Doesn't matter. Seen as a 10. So and then take Legacy Kayfabe 10-10. You only need 2. This would be the most devastating mutant creation ever in the world of wrestling.
I try to be a little more creative with it anyways. In-ring, give me Okada, greatest wrestler in the world right now. 10.
Okay.
Look, Macho Man.
Oh, yeah.
10. All those awesome robes. Promo, Cena. 10.
Yeah.
Legacy.
Killer. Everything 10.
Ric Flair 10.
10.
In kayfabe, Bruno.
Ooh, kayfabe is 10 for Bruno.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that belt for 8 years. Totally 10 kayfabe.
Well done. That's good.
Final question in text form from Brandon Ford. Do you think WWE is going to unify the women's division titles, and will it, in fact, be the main event?
No.
They're not going to unify the titles. Yeah.
No, but then yes. They're not going to unify the titles. Definitely going to be the main event.
Yes.
Absolutely. Thanks so much, everybody, for your questions. We appreciate it. If you want to be part of Matt Chat, $20 on the
now
Patreon
you're making a mess.
at
Jeez.
patreon.com/.
You're picking all those
Stephen
up.
Larson. I'm just trying to do the Gambit thing. Till next time, we'll talk to you guys later.
Bye.
One more.